Hello, welcome to the TryLine podcast. I'm your host, Bo. This is my co-host, the people's host, Danny. How you going, mate?
Good, I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Are you looking forward to this week? Big week. We got State of Origin Wednesday. Then we fly up to Queensland on Friday. 3 a.m. wake up on a train into Sydney to Townsville. Game that night. Then we get on a plane, go back to Brisbane. 2 games that night. 1 at Gold Coast, 1 at Brisbane. Back home into Redcliffe on the Sunday. Possibly Movie World on the Monday. Back on a plane for Tuesday. Back home. Are you keen?
Mate, I'm keen for. I'll probably be keen for the first day, maybe 2 days. After that, it'll be a punish. And Movie World on Monday is on the back burner.
No,
Straight
Movie
away,
World's
straight away.
on. We're on for Movie World. No, it's going to be very expensive, but I'm very excited. But before we get into those games next week, we have a State of Origin on our hands, and I tell you what, these mid-season State of Origins just have so much more hype about them than the end of the season ones. You know, like I feel like everyone is sweating on this game one. I think it's going to be a really good game, especially because I reckon the teams are very even this year. But we got 7 debutants. I wanted to start with, who do you think, out of the 7 debutants, who do you think is going to have the best night? So we have Jeremiah Nanai, Patrick Carrigan, Katoni Staggs, Ryan Madison, who he's by far played the most games out of any of these debutants. He's at 130 games. Ruben Cotter, Selwyn Cobbo, and Stephen Crichton. Who do you think is going to have the best night?
All right, so I've come up with one. So I'm going to say Selwyn Cobbo. I think out of all the debutants, I think he's the most. I think he's most primed for a good game. He's been killing it at club level, and obviously he's going to be playing outside better players than he would be if he was just playing for the Broncos. But I don't mind Katoni Staggs as well. Playing outside a half that can get him a bit of early ball, especially close to the line. He could have a bit of a blinder, but
Hashtag early ball.
hashtag early ball. But my money would be on Cobbo. That's a safe.
Yeah. I like the Stags point too. I think this will be by far the best team he's ever been a part of.
Yeah.
And you know how damaging he is. And you see the same thing with Talakai when he gets a little bit of early ball. They're just too... Like it feels like Stags has been putting players on highlight reels forever. So, I mean, playing outside some better players with a game plan that will definitely suit his strengths. Fast game plan, you could see him getting some good ball. I've gone Patrick Carrigan off the bench. I think he's going to tear it up. I think when he gets in the middle of the field, we've been so high on him for so long, me and you.
Yeah.
And I think he's built for this stage. He's just tough. He'll tackle anything. He'll take a tough carry. He's got a great late offload. I think if he's healthy, he's picked consistently in this side for the next 6, 7, 8 years. And I think when it's all said and done, he'll be a 20-game Origin player. And maybe even a future Queensland captain. That's how good I think he can be.
Yeah.
If he's fit and healthy. So I think he'll kill it off the bench, and I think he's primed for a really good series. Shocked he isn't starting over Cotter, but I think he can still do a lot of damage off the bench there.
Yeah, I think maybe Carrigan can bring a bit more impact off the bench, and Cotter, Cotter can stay in that game and do his job, make those tackles and run for however many meters. But then Pat Carrigan, I think, would have more impact than Ruben Cotter.
I'll tell you what, if they get on the field at the same time, the leg speed between them two, especially with Harry Grant coming off the bench as well, that could be a really, really big 20 minutes for Queensland through the middle of the field. Speaking of key, probably factors in the game, I wanted to look at a key for New South Wales and a key for Queensland where you think either team can win the game.
Yep.
I'll do the New South Wales one, so then we eliminate the bias. You do the Queensland one, I'll do the New South Wales one.
Yep.
I'll kick us off here. I think the key for New South Wales is Isaiah.
Okay.
I think he's just so dangerous with the ball in hand right now. And he's almost more dangerous because he's a great runner of the ball too. Yep. Like he seems to be like a pass-first kind of player at the moment. But I think he's in the top 25 for meters still.
Oh, really?
In the game. That's how much he can impact the game, both sides of the ball there. And also, he's equal first among forwards for try assists. So that's an ability to impact the game with his run, an ability to impact the game with his pass. He also gets through a ton of work in the middle. And not only he gets through a ton of work, he's efficient with the work he does get through. Like he is not missing many tackles in the middle of the field. I'm pretty sure he's 11th right now for just tackles. So he's absorbing all that energy in the middle and still being effective on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
I think if New South Wales are going to be successful, it's going to be on the back of a massive game from him. And just the subtleties around his game in the middle of the park is just second to none right now.
Yeah, right. The key for Queensland. Okay, so I thought about this for a little while. All right, the key for Queensland, and I did look at the stats, is to attack where the combinations for Penrith aren't. So Penrith, obviously the best defensive team in the comp at the moment, and you've got a number of Penrith players in the team. You got Crichton, Luai, Martin, Cleary, Toto, and Yo in there, just to name a couple. And when I think Crichton and Martin come on, I think they'll be slotting into the left side. So Jack Whiten and Tarek Sims, I think they'll be moving on for those two. So I'm going to say for Queensland to find success in attack, they'll have to attack New South Wales right edge. So that would be Nathan Cleary, Tony Staggs, and Brian Toto there.
All right, and who's going at that edge?
So that would be it would be Cameron Munster.
Yep.
Yeah, Munster. I always get Cam Murray and Munster mixed up.
Yeah.
Cameron Munster, Valentine Holmes, and was it Cobbo?
I think it was.
It was Cobbo. So I think
they're all players that are in really good form too at the moment.
They are, especially Cam Munster. He's been killing it lately. And also attacking kicks. With attacking kicks, they've got to find their wingers, Selwyn Cobbo and Xavier Coates. If they can get them one-on-one with the opposite numbers, I think they'll have a field day.
I think a lot's been said about the attacking kicks coming into this series, but if we remember, they had a similar matchup last year. They had a really good matchup with Xavier Coates in that game one, and they couldn't find that. I think they found one attacking kick for him to contest the whole game. And yes, they were dominated through that game one, but I mean, what I'm saying is it can't all be about the kicks, because if things don't go their way, which it didn't go their way early in that game one last year, they've got to find another way to attack, because you can only get these attacking kicks if you've got the field position to attack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're not getting that field position, you've got to find another avenue to score there. I think the forward pack's a big key in this one. New South Wales forward pack between them, including the ones on the bench, not including the hooker, has 34 games. Queensland's forward pack has 47 games between them. Big chunk of that, obviously, Josh Papali'i with 20 games. Who do you see winning the forward battle here?
I can't go past New South Wales. Like Payne Haas, Junior Paulo, Isaiah Yeo, Cam Murray. I mean, they're all great forwards. I do like some of the forwards for the Queensland side, like Tino. I really rate Tino, Pat Carrigan, Ruben Cotter. I still think they're great, but will they have enough to match it with?
It's a strong forward pack for New South Wales.
Yeah.
It's a strong forward pack. I really like. I worry as a Queensland fan about Liam Martin coming off the bench too. He's just, I think he's one of the best back rowers going around at the moment.
Yeah, well,
and that's just not because he's playing for Penrith. I reckon he's killing it in the back row.
Yeah.
And I thought he'd start.
Well, he's one of those effort players as well.
Yeah, 100%. Well, it seems like a lot of the players picked this year are players that you would think will be there for a long time. You know what I mean? Like Liam Martin, he's got Origin player written all over him.
Yeah.
I think you got Ruben Cotter, Pat Carrigan, they're two big Origin players. New South Wales they're so stacked in the lock department. You look at Isaiah Yeo, and then if you had to say the next best lock in the game right now is probably Cam Murray.
Yeah.
And he's in the team as well, so they're just absolutely stacked. Question without notice, I wanted to say, before we get into who we think's going to win, if you had to see a fight in this game, who's the two you'd want to see go at it?
Well, if I had to see a fight, let's have a look. It would have to be probably no one in the backs for Queensland. It'd probably have to be Payne Haas and Tino.
See, I reckon that, obviously that's a fight everyone wants to see. I reckon a fight that would be just nuts would be Paulo and Papali'i.
How about both of them going at the same time?
Jesus Christ, just throwing hands. Some big boys in the middle throwing hands.
Well, they're both like they're all kind of similar builds. Like Junior Paulo and
Yeah.
Josh Papali'i, they're a similar build, and Payne Haas and Tino.
I'd back Paulo in, and I'd back Tino in.
You
over
reckon
Haas.
Tino?
Yeah. Tino just seems like a big presence.
Nah, he's a coward. At least.
All right. Let's get into our official prediction for game one.
Game one, I'm going to say New South Wales are going to win, and I'm going to say it will be 13 plus. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Okay, so do you want me to do my score as well? I'll do my score in this one as well.
Yeah, go. You got to justify that. 13
Okay,
plus.
so I think it's going to be New South Wales win 28 points to 16. That's 12? 1 to 12.
12.
I thought it was 4.
12,
Okay. So I'll go 1 to 12. I thought that was 14 for a second.
Okay.
That's my bad. 1 to 12. And I think what New South Wales have to do, you brought up before, they have to limit the amount of opportunities Queensland have to put in attacking kicks.
Yeah.
So that's pressuring the kicker, making sure they don't get that field position to put those kicks in. And if they do, I think the other outside backs have to do a good job in kind of getting in the way of the Queensland kickers, but legally, how you can run to the ball and not change your line.
Yeah.
And then attack, I think it has to be through the middle to win. They have to go up through the middle. Like Cam Murray, Isaiah Yeo, they've both got a pretty quick play the ball, and Damien Cook's one of the better running hookies in the comp. Sorry, I think off the back of that they can get it done.
And if New South Wales get a roll on, that's where Teddy's most dangerous. Teddy isn't as dangerous on those sweep plays. He's a fullback that sniffs around the middle and can get opportunities that way. So yeah, I agree with that. I don't agree with the 13 plus, but you rectified that. Yeah. I think New South Wales will win as well. I'm going to go 1 to 12 for game one. I think first game back in Sydney for a while. I think the crowd will be pumping. I think if New South Wales can score 2 or 3 tries in the first 50 odd minutes, I think Cleary will be able to control the game and kick Queensland to death after that. My score prediction is 20 to 10 for New South Wales. I think maybe New South Wales lead 20 to 6 for a long time and Queensland maybe go over late, something like that. And yeah, I don't know. I think Queensland can win. I think it'll be a great game. And I think my series prediction is Queensland come back, win Perth, win Queensland, and lift the trophy at home in front of 52,000 Queenslanders. Queensland win 2-1.
This is a serious prediction, mate.
Yeah, serious. That's my series prediction.
No, serious.
Serious. It is a serious prediction. They're going to win 2-1.
If you're picking Queensland to win, it's obviously what's that word? Satire. I
think Queensland win Perth, and I think they win at home comfortably in the decider.
No. Well, we're going to Perth. If they win Perth, I'm not coming back. I'm staying in Perth. I'm staying in Perth.
Yeah, that's my official series prediction. I think Queensland can win 2-1. And I think, like I said on last week's show, I think if Queensland can win game one, they'll win 3-0. That's what I'm thinking.
No, mate, you got to go get checked out or something. My series prediction, I'm backing New South Wales to win 2-1.
Okay, so what ones do they win?
They will win game one in Perth.
So we win a dead rubber at home.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Well, because New South Wales will just take the foot off the gas and be like, yeah, we won. We've already won. And then Queensland
they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That is a fact.
Yeah.
My man of the match.
The more you keep talking, the more I like Queensland 3-0.
It will never happen. I can almost guarantee it.
All right, that's at $10, by the way. I might have already had some money on Queensland at 3-0.
Have the odds come in or gone
out? No, I don't know, but there was $10. I'm willing to out myself. I have put a preemptive bet on Queensland at 3-0 at $10. Yeah.
Wow.
I just wanted to be throw it in everyone's face when I was right, but I also put some money on Queensland at 2-1 at 320.
That'll never happen. The 3-0, 2-1, possibly. Yeah. Highly unlikely, though. My man of the match for game one, I've gone with Isaiah Yeo.
Oi, I went with the Zayo.
Hey, very nice. So
What's he paying? I don't think you could just bet straight man of the match, could you?
I'm not too sure. I think you.
I couldn't see. I couldn't see it. Yeah, I went as Zayo too. I think he just controls the middle, and I think if New South Wales win, he's going to look really good.
Oh, State of Origin, game 1, player of the match. Zayo's $12.
$12. There you go.
$12
Free money.
minis. $12.
We both like him. We didn't plan that either. So Zayo.
Yeah, Zayo. He will be winning man of the match.
I've got a shock for man of the series. Can you bet on man of the series?
Have you gone Harry Grant?
No, I've got a shock.
Go on.
You go first. Mine's a shock.
Oh, I've just gone the safe one. I've just gone pardon me, Nathan Cleary.
Okay.
Go
You want to
on.
hear mine?
I do. I'm waiting.
I've gone Kalen Ponga.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That's
I got
disgusting.
Ponga. I got Ponga man of the series. I think Billy Slater's influence, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think about some of the better fullbacks going around today.
Mm-hmm.
Nico Hines had a great year last year. Even Scotty Drinkwater's having a really good season. Ryan Pappenhausen, he may be one of the form fullbacks.
Gutho.
No, not Gutho. Slater has had an impact on every single one of these players' development, right? He's good with fullbacks. He's obviously probably the best fullback to ever do it. I think he has a big impact on Kalen Ponga during this series. I think Kalen Ponga has a really, really good series, and I think he wins man of the series. There you go.
You are taking the piss.
No,
You are taking the piss.
All right, best bets for game 1. That's a great bet, by the way. If you can find a market for man of the series, cash money, Kalen Ponga.
It's not on Sportsbet, by the way. Just
All right, it'll be somewhere. Let's go.
Let's
Best
go.
bets for game 1. I'll start us off. Okay. We're going to do one a little bit safer, one a little bit out there. I like Cobbo to score, Tupou to score, and you give Queensland 12.5 points. That's at $6.
And that's your safe one.
Yeah, that's my safe one.
All right, nice. I'll go with my safe one. I've gone New South Wales, just head to head. No line, no nothing like that. Queensland under 20.5 points, and Daniel Tupou anytime try scorer at $3.
Oh, that's a good bet.
Mate, that is a good bet. You cop
I
that.
might get on that. That's a good bet.
That is a very good bet.
Tedesco, anytime.
This your roughie?
Yeah, this is my roughie. Tedesco, anytime. New South Wales +9 at halftime.
Okay.
Queensland under 16.5 total, and race to 30 neither.
What's that getting you?
$21.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good value.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right. So I've gone pick your own line. New South Wales -9.5. New South Wales to win both halves. Katoni Staggs and Daniel Tupou anytime at 10.50.
Oh, that's not bad. We've constructed some nice bets.
Oh,
I think my first one's probably the worst of the bunch. So, but after that, we went all right.
Yeah, I really like my first one, like $3. I
Yeah.
might chuck. Well, I don't have any money. I'll put money in my head. I'll be rich in my head.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, we'll end on with a player to be dropped after game 1.
Okay, you want to kick us off here?
I'll kick us off.
Yeah, you kick us off.
I done one for both teams, actually.
Oh, really?
I think I can see a world where Xavier Coates doesn't have a great night. Right? I can see a world where Xavier Coates doesn't have a great night and Tao Lungi maybe comes in for him. I think a lot of people will say, oh, what about Corey Oates?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of errors in Corey Oates. I like Murray Taulagi a little bit more. Great finisher. If you're going to debut him, it's probably a little bit better to debut him away from Sydney. So I think if Coates doesn't have a great night, maybe we see Murray Taulagi come in. And the other one, and the only one I can see for New South Wales really is Sims goes for Frizzell.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to... you know what? Queensland made this mistake last year with Xavier Coates. He didn't have a very good game. Game 1, dropped him.
Yeah.
And then he came back and had a decent game in Game 3.
Okay.
I don't think you need to keep Xavier Coates there. He's the winger there for the next 10 years.
All right.
You keep him there.
Okay.
But
so who are you dropping?
for Queensland,
Yeah. Oh, no one.
well, you don't got anyone really to come in for anyone. Maybe Felice Kafusi. Felice is done. Get him out. Bring in Jairo. He's way better.
I think we'll see Jairo at some time in the series. I think he'll be in the side at some point.
Only if there's an injury, surely, because
I could see him coming in for Nanai. I'm really interested to see how Nanai goes. He's not played many games at all. I think he's 16 games in.
Well, hopefully he's
really interesting.
He goes really poorly. Anyway, my player to be dropped. Sorry, after game 1. It's, you know what? This is a tough one. It was going to be Tarek Sims.
Okay.
But then I thought for a second, hold on. What if? And it's a big what if. What if Jack Whiten, when he goes into the middle, Stephen Crichton comes onto the edge, has a blinder, and Jack Whiten makes no impact in the middle of the game, in the middle of the field.
I think Jack Whiten just goes to the 14.
I'm going to say, if there is a player to be dropped, I think it's going to be Jack Whiten.
No.
If that happens, if what I say happens, he goes in the middle, Stephen Crichton has a blinder, and he doesn't do anything, I think he'll be dropped next game.
So you reckon they bring Crichton on and play him in the centres?
I do, yeah.
And move Jack?
I'm sure I heard that somewhere. Like, you bring Crichton into the centres and Jack White moves into the middle.
Yeah.
And then that's like... Yeah.
Who plays hooker? That's what I want to know.
Who plays hooker? Damien
Who
Cook?
plays hooker when Damien Cook goes down? When the beach sprinter... when the beach sprinter goes down, who plays hooker?
Was he a beach sprinter?
I think so.
Yeah, I didn't know that. If he goes down, then we're screwed. No one's a hooker.
Yeah.
No, literally, there's no one that can play hooker there.
All right. My official, unofficial prediction for game 1 is also Queensland 13 plus easy clap.
That'll never happen ever in a million years.
We'll never win 13 plus again.
Never in history that I'm alive, anyway.
I love it because if we get too far ahead, you're just gonna.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Smart. All right, let's jump into these games, guys. The plan is right now. Tentative plan is for us to film a podcast after game 1, and to probably be released Thursday morning. Okay, so that's tentative plan. Plans change, but people stay the same. First game of round 13, Cowboys defeated the Titans 32-6. What'd you make of this one?
Look, early on again, Titans looked pretty good, but then they just die in the arse. I don't know what happens to them. Like why they're like that. They just can't put together a whole game of footy where they're consistent.
I think Todd Payton said it best at halftime. In his halftime address to the boys, he said, first 10 sets, they completed like 5 of 10. It was 6-all. Next 10 sets, they completed 10 of 10, and they went in...
16-6.
What? Yeah, 16-6. He said, you hold the ball, you will win the game.
Yeah. Well, I think I texted you and I said, this is a low game in the first half. It was just errors after error.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they would have a Queensland derby in Origin time. I think that's ridiculous scheduling from the NRL, especially take a lot of good players out of this game. Gold Coast, it's obviously a big money game for them. They only got 10,000 there, so I think it's terrible scheduling on that part. As for the result, I think good bounce back from the Cows. Good win.
Yeah, for sure. Who did they get beat by last week? Did they get beat?
Penrith.
Oh, yeah.
I saw this. Did you see this second half stat for the Cows?
Well, I don't know.
They've conceded like 10 points in second halves in like the last 7 weeks.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, and they've only conceded 10 points once. Like 10 whole points once in one second half all year.
Oh, yeah? Who was that? Who
that was the Roosters.
Oh, Roosters. Yeah.
Oh, the Warriors, actually. I think the Roosters scored 8. Yeah, it was the Warriors. So, yeah.
So they're the opposite of the Titans.
Yeah, but they're defending well in the second half and like then getting over the top of teams. That's fitness, that is, baby. Yeah. Oh, anyway, that's that's a good stat for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
On to the next game. I hate split rounds, by the way. I will throw it out there. I cannot stand split rounds.
So it's when half the
Yeah.
comp plays, the other half. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather them take a month off the NRL and just focus on Origin, play representative football the whole time. You have England play a 3-game series against New Zealand, something. Just scrap the NRL for a month because I think these split rounds are just dead.
Yeah.
This 30-18 game against the Bulldogs, the absolute story of the Bulldogs season played out in this game.
Yeah. Well,
they start shit, right?
That's true.
They start like they're the Bulldogs. Then they realise, oh, we're not that shit. Let's get into the game. So they do. They get to within, I think, 4 points in this game.
Yeah.
And then they're like, one thing goes against the Bulldogs, and they're like, oh, we're shit again.
Yeah.
But I think Paul Vaughan dropped the ball, and then Panthers went bang, 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 and end up winning by 12 points. And that shouldn't happen. And yes, and people say, oh, well, Paul Vaughan shouldn't have dropped the ball. Well, players drop the ball.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
That's true.
You got to be able to defend that. And then I saw some people saying about the Bulldogs, oh, well, it was a good try. It was a darn good try. Was it? This is what's happened all year to the Dogs. They've been in almost every game this season. They were in a game up to their eyeballs against South. Remember that? They were in that game, and then one thing goes against them. It was a big thing. Marshall King goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Rabbitohs scored 3 tries in 10 minutes.
Yeah, mate. I don't know. They turn off the TV. That's what they do.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. Tell you who it's not. It's not their coach.
No.
I think a lot of players in that side need to have a look at themselves because if you can getting into the game is coaching, staying in the game is personnel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
So I don't know. Was it a good effort from the Bulldogs? I guess. Does it mean anything? No. Will they win the spoon? Probably.
Yeah.
Well, I've got nothing else to say about the Dogs. What's the next game?
Manly defeat the Warriors 44-12.
The Warriors. My God.
Yeah. How bad? They're bad.
They were terrible, man. That was the worst they've looked.
Yeah.
They were turnstiles in defence, especially early in that game.
Yeah. I thought there was a couple, bad calls that went against them, but that's just a couple. Like, that was just moments in the game. For the majority of the game, they looked woeful. Like that Martin's power try.
Yeah.
That was soft. Like to even let him. Like I don't think it was try personally, but to
I know what you're going to say. That's exactly right.
It was just off a tap, and you let him get that close to the line. There's
You're exactly
there's
right.
However many of them there. Like there's more than enough to stop him. To not even let him get that close to the line. Like I know.
Nail on the head, Denny. I thought the exact same thing. You can complain that he didn't get to the line, but look where the bloke did get to.
And it was off a tap.
Oh, I mean, there's just no desperation. I think who's the front rower that scored from dummy half? Who's the big front rower? Sipley scored from dummy half as well early in the game. Just no backbone in the Warriors. Reece Walsh said it right after the game. He gave him a bit of a spray and said, we've got to work out who wants to be here and who doesn't. Because no one's having a go. Sean Johnson needs to take some responsibility for his performances lately. He has been atrocious. He's picking up a paycheck for virtually nothing up there at the moment.
He's been going missing.
Yeah, and Chanel Harris-Tafita I thought was excellent. But he can only do so much. And I don't know what's going on with him. He said he's going to have a year off footy. I feel for him a little bit. But I wonder if that's because he's been tapped, saying he won't be in the halves next year. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on there. But I think, no, it's not on him. I don't think it's on Walshy. I think Walshy's trying.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't know what's going on with them. I think it's just, it's definitely a personnel problem there. Like, what's going on?
I will say, the referee didn't have a great night. He's going to be in the box on next Wednesday. That should be interesting. As for Manly, I thought they looked all right. It's the first game, I think maybe this year, that their forward pack has dominated the other team's forward pack. And they've got some weapons on the back of that. So if you can see more of that from Manly, you can see him having a good week, good couple of weeks here, but I don't think we'll see it.
Yeah.
Their forward pack's been poor in a hole.
For the Warriors.
No, for Manly.
Oh, yeah.
I think their
for
four
sure.
pack's been dreadful.
For sure. I'll tell you, at least once a week, Dylan Walker will get injured.
Yeah.
At least once a week. He'll hold his knee, and the ref will stop the game. He'll hold back to his feet. They'll want to bring him off, and he'll be like, nah.
I'm good.
I'm good. At least once a week. Seriously, it's paying like $1.10 every week for him to do that.
I'll tell you what. It's most of the time it's on the back of like an error or a missed tackle or something too.
Yeah.
But he just stays down. Oh, the knee. The knee.
Nah, I'll be good though. I'll be good.
He's going to the Warriors next year too, so that's the kind of player you want to get over there. Let's get on to this last game. Again, a shit game. That's 3 shit games.
Yeah.
This last game was okay, but the first 3, like, did anyone really enjoy watching any of them?
Oh, hold on. I thought this was a pretty shit game too.
You fought the 4th one. So I was at work. I'd never do this.
Okay.
But I had an opportunity to work, and I'm always on Sunday. I'm like, nah, footy's on. Instead of watching this game, I'll go into work.
No,
what was wrong with this one?
The penalties, man. The first like half, there was about 50 penalties, and it was like I don't know what was going on. The Roosters were giving away a lot of penalties. That's what gave the Raiders like some pretty good field position. Is because when the Raiders were coming out of trouble, like almost every set in the first half, they'd give away a penalty.
Who's the referee down there?
Mate, I don't know. How do I even check that?
No, I don't know if you can now. Don't know if you can. You got to look before the game, or just if you watched it, you could have saw him. I think I watched like 20 minutes of it, and I think Hudson Young done a couple of nice things while I watched. I heard he had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Xavier Savage, saw he scored as well.
Yeah. He did good, Xavier Savage. He was
just looking at the Raiders on a whole, though, I'll talk to you about it today. Talk about a friendly draw. They got a nice little draw going home.
A little bad.
Why can I not see the draw of anyone anymore? I've tried to look it up about 4 times.
What do you mean?
If you go to the draw, it says not available. It's like the NRL website has banned me.
They've banned me too.
Alright, I just went on the Raiders website. Anyway, I'm pretty sure they play 3 teams currently in the top 8 for the rest of the year. So, they got the Broncos, they got the Storm, they got the Panthers. That's the only 3 teams they play for the rest of the year that are in the top 8. Then other than that, they got the Tigers, they got Manly, they got the Knights, they got the Dragons, they got the Titans, they got the Warriors, they got the Dragons again, they got the Knights again, and they get the bye. That ain't a bad draw for the mighty Raiders.
You'll call that.
Do you think they could sneak in the 8? Because I know the Dragons are in and around there as well, and their draw isn't too bad. It might be those games against the Raiders that decide that one. They've got 2 games.
Yeah.
Whichever team can pick up both those wins might be in the 8.
Yeah, they're on the same amount of points. I think it's just the points differential. The Dragons are... Hold on.
Hold the phone.
No, they're not on the same amount of points. They're on.
All right, who's on more? The Dragons.
Dragons, yeah.
Okay. So,
and they played
live right now, because I think it's out of them 2 for that 8 spot.
Yeah. I'll say
Dragons or Raiders.
You think the Bunnies fall out?
Yeah, yes, I do.
I'm gonna stick with the Raiders. I think I picked them at the beginning of the year. I have to go back.
All right, I'll pick the Dragons.
All right. You want to put a bet on?
Yeah, $4,000. And if the Queensland win 13 plus, you owe me double.
I don't know, $4,000.
We'll take a loan. All right, that's it for this week. We will be back. We'll be back after game 1, sitting here when the mighty Maroons defeat the New South Wales Speed Wizard Blues. Any last words before Origin?
We'll see. We'll see what happens on Wednesday.
All right, we're going up to Queensland, so you better be respectful to them. We're going up to Queensland like 2 days later. I'll kill them all. The King of the North.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
No.